Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? This is Eric here for Faster Humans. So I'm just recording and moving forward. So what's going on, guys? I just want to talk to you a really important subject. Is we're gonna talk about stress. We're gonna talk about stress and how we're gonna overcome that stress. We're gonna give a few tips to definitely overcome those stress levels. We're going to talk about something really interesting that since I'm in the gym industry, fitness industry, coaching industry, and so we're going to talk about something super interesting. Sorry, it's dark, but at least you can be able to see a little bit. It's getting the sunlight is coming out. Anyhow, so let's talk about stress. Number one, one of the things I notice a lot from doing the coaching, doing the posting on Instagram, and watching tons of people worrying about stress levels and how is it that you're stressing out. How are we gonna overcome the stress? Okay, because you have levels of stress from work, like it's crazy levels of stress at work, right? Probably you're not working and you're stressing out because you're not working, right? And so how are we gonna overcome that? Number one, and this is number one thing that you need to do is get your sleep on. And I think I say this, I'm a broken record about this. Get your sleep on, get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. If you be able to get 9, that'd be awesome, right? 9 hours of sleep. And so let's just say that you get that 9 hours of sleep, and fundamental to you, to your health, fundamental to yourself, and now your goal is to reduce the stress levels you have from work. One of the things I tell people, when you wake up in the morning, my suggestion is do some meditation. Get a meditation going, about 10-12 minutes of meditation. Just breathe, focus on what you're going to do today, right? That is key essential meditation, just 10 minutes, even if before you work out, because I've been doing it, I've been practicing. I suggest just 10 minutes, don't stress yourself out. And so the goal is to be able to clear your mindset, because that's the main idea of meditation. Clear your mindset, be self-aware, knowing that it is not so bad what you're going through right now, and all the problems that you're gonna have to face, they will eventually go away. I mean, there's gonna be more problems. There's always some situation going on, family, work, right? So eventually you're gonna have to overcome that stuff. But at the end of the day, you're kind of more centered. You're kind of more aware that you're waking up with great intentions, grateful and thankful that you're where you are right now. You're in a great spot where you're healthy, you're vibrant, your idea of the fact that you're working out. But this is the thing right here. A lot of people tend to believe that as soon as you wake up, you need to put something in your stomach. And so imagine you're stressing out for work, you're stressing out for whatever reasons you're stressing out, right? So the first thing you're thinking, hey, let me eat some breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day. Yeah, but I think it's important is the time of the day when you eat when you break your fast. And I'm pretty sure you have listened to this before in a previous podcast that I talk about. No, is not necessarily the most important meal of the day so early in the morning, where you already have dropped the amount of insulin out of your body after you wake up in the morning. You wake up and now you're looking to stay active. So there's a level of stressors that goes on in your digestion system as soon as you eat something. And as I tell a lot of people, I know it's crazy, right? But unless you're a child that wakes up in the morning and needs to grow, right? As a children, we need to grow, and we need all these foods, and so as a child or a pregnant woman, you don't need to fast, right? But doing or skipping breakfast will be the best thing for you to not stress yourself out anymore. The reason being why I said this is because imagine you're eating a big meal in the morning because hey, I need to go to work, right? Trust me, you're not gonna pass out on the floor just because you skip breakfast in the morning, right? You're not going to. It's just one of the things I tell a lot of people is like, you are going to be well off not having breakfast. Your body has enough stored fat. If you're trying to lose weight, if you have a specific amount of weight issue, because the stress tend to put weight on your body, because the main stressors are giving you all these things that it creates so much going on in your brain, and then you're eating that particular meal so early in the morning that is not necessary. You don't need it. I don't need it. I have stopped eating breakfast since 2017, right? So I started practicing this intermittent fasting, and why would I say something to you that you got to work so early? Because your focus, your brain is going to focus on one thing and the task that needs to be done every single day. Yeah, you can get a black coffee, you can get green tea, you can get mineral water, you can get water, because your body needs to hydrate. You need to drop all that insulin levels. So what it's going to reduce all the stressors out of your body from the inside out, because you're going to get stress from the outside. So imagine you're skipping breakfast every single day. Trust me, you're going to be way better off, and wait until maybe your lunch break. For my peoples that are working in the morning, my suggestion is wait until lunchtime. Maybe 11 o'clock, maybe 12 o'clock. And I had noticed these patterns because I talk to people. On a daily basis, I'm talking to people, and the patterns are just as equal or even worse than I can think of. I'm like, seriously, like every single day I'm listening to people. They are talking about the patterns of eating, the patterns of sleeping, and I said, well, this is your problem. That's the reason why you're gaining weight, because just not only do you not sleeping well, maybe you're sleeping like 4 to 5 hours every single day, and then you go to work, and then you wake up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and you continue gaining weight, and you continue not seeing the results that you want, because you continue eating on these patterns. 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, you want to have a sandwich, you want to have your coffee with cream and sugar, or you want to have whatever you have. It's just spiking your insulin to the roof, right? And we have to talk about how much of carbohydrates makes a huge impact on your body by having it so early. And once again, I said to people, it's like, it's not what you eat, it's what time you eat. Because having it so early, you only had like 6 hours of sleep, maybe 5 hours of sleep, and then you wake up and you do the cycle again and again and again. And so my thing to anybody is that I have to tell people, hey, it is not easy. It is not easy for anybody to continuously having these stresses going, because eventually your body is going to tell you. Your body is going to say, hey, enough is enough. And so trust me when I'm telling you right now that you are trying to get to your best self, but you're stressing out. You're stressing out completely, but we're not letting the body do what it's supposed to do. The body is going to take care of itself every single day, but we don't let it, because the body's trying to replace all this toxicity, all these things. It's trying to get rid of it, all the stored fat. But we don't let it, because we continuously wake up in the morning. We're in a feeding mode in a constant basis. We're in a feeding mode from 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Some people at 4:30 in the morning, they already start eating, and they continue all the way through, all the way to 9 o'clock at night. They're in a feeding mode, constantly eating, and then they don't let the body do what it's supposed to do. And when I explain that to people, be like, that's the reason why. I say, well, yeah, I mean, you will have your Cocoa Puff, you will have your cereal, you will have whatever it is that you have in the morning, and then it will take a huge impact on your body every single day. And so I know for a fact that that's the main reason why you're gaining weight. I mean, even plus you're not being physical, you're not working out, you're stuck at home. Either way, you're stressing out, right? You're stressing out because you don't have a job, but then you're doing the same patterns every single day. You haven't changed none of the patterns since you have gained 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, you name it. So when I explain to people, listen, there is so much information, there's so much in regards to you need to sleep, how important it is, and that you eventually want to get results. It starts with your sleeping patterns and sleeping better. A lot of people say, oh, well, I sleep 5 hours. Eventually it's going to take a toll. Now, mind me, if you're younger, you might not feel this out yet, but eventually you're going to feel the fact that you need to be in control of your patterns. And a lot of people don't want to do that. They think, well, I got this, right? But eventually it's going to take a toll on your body. You're going to get sick. You're going to, right, we are in top of with this pandemic, and so you might have type 2 diabetes, or you have high blood pressure. You have all these things that come along with the fact that you're trying to get healthy, right? And then you have all these stressors that have become your kind of sort of like your sign of you need to do something about it. And so when I tell people, like, look, sleep, wake up in the morning, hydrate. No, you don't need to have breakfast. You don't need to have breakfast. No, you don't need to have snacks. Wait until lunchtime, 11, 12 o'clock. And then try to close your window of eating, right? If the better you eat, the better results you're going to get, right? But that's little by little. I tell people, especially when I'm training people, I say, look, don't change none of your nutrition intake yet, or your diet, or whatever that you follow, because I'm not here to change what you eat, because at the end of the day, you're an adult, and at the end of the day, what you need to change, right? Because you have a lot of processed foods at home. You have to get rid of those processed foods, and so little by little, you're gonna have to make changes that is going to impact later on for your health. Now, the thing that I tell a lot of people is like, hey, try not to eat late. Try not to make sure that I make it a habit to be eating after 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, which, once again, those patterns has a destructive way to impact on your health, because, once again, we deal with Mother Nature and your circadian rhythm, and the fact that you need to make sure that you have every night, try to have your last meal between 6 p.m., 7 p.m. will be the latest. I practice this, try not to eat late, and occasionally I tend to go out and tend to eat slightly later than usual. All get-togethers, right? So you gotta live a little, right? But at the same time, if you make it a habit of constantly eating out, drinking, eventually it's gonna take a toll on your body if you do it on a constant basis, right? So for anyone who's stressing out right now, you're like stressing out for the levels of stress that you have right now, and plus you have these eating patterns that is constantly sabotaging your goals, sabotaging the fact that you're trying to go to the gym and see results, right? That's the kind of levels of stress you don't want. That's the last thing you want to be doing to yourself. I'm a father of 4. I'm 44 years old, and I'm glad I've been practicing this intermittent fasting, OMAD, 72 hours once a week, 72 hours of fasting for once a week. But what am I getting out of this? I noticed that people say, well, you don't look 44. Thank you. But this is the thing that makes it even more real about the fact people say you don't look 44. I did a test which is called the Evolt, and I believe it's available on a lot of clubs. I don't know what club you go to. The Evolt will read and tell you what you need as far as like nutrients and proteins and reach your weight, your body fat, and everything else that goes around your whole body. But guess what? At the same time, this thing reads that your bio age, which internally what it's supposed to be at, and it says that I am 38 instead of 44, which is in a good way. It's a good thing. But that's because I've been practicing. The patterns of my new eating habits are different. I'm not stressing out as much as I used to. I sleep. I make sure that I get my 7 to 8 hours of sleep, and remembering that every single day you learn something new. So this is the part where I tell a lot of people, a stress level will come. The challenges in life are stress that come along. Job, business, they're stressed out. They're gonna stress you out. But what's that's going to help you if you continue eating and not sleeping, and you're stressing out on a constant basis outside, right? And that outside, and imagine you're stressing your body from the inside on a constant basis, like eating patterns like crazy, and you continue eating again and again and again. You're gaining weight. You wonder why you're not losing the weight. So that right there, guys, is one of the reasons why I suggest in these little tips that you need to do starting right now. And the reason being is because life is short, and for a lot of people, it's super short. So that's the part of that. What I would think is one of the best ways to be able to start overcoming the stress levels that you have every single day. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about, and besides stress, is I want to talk to you about the fact that when you go to the stores, the supermarkets, and all these things in regards of making sure that you're wearing a mask, right? And this is fine, is that they want you to double and triple the mask in your face. Let me tell you something, guys. I think that, again, that the virus is real, but that doesn't make any difference than any other business. Than when you go to the gym, the gyms are providing like sanitizers, spray cleaners, after you finish working out and whatever. But guess what? When I go to supermarkets, there's a multitude of people in a supermarket. There's a multitude amount of people at the stores, and I don't get the point out of the people that go into the supermarket. They're touching everything, and they're touching every single little item that is in that store, and then you don't want like facilities like the gyms or religious spots and stuff like that. You don't want them to be open. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, at the end, we need to be able to accustom our bodies into this new virus, because there's other viruses out there, just like every other virus has come along, and it's like they're not gonna be going away anytime soon, right? So you just gotta remember, guys. Yes, social distancing, It's something that I personally think that in a subtle way it can be helpful, for some, especially if you're prone to get sick or get any other chronic disease that you might have, But then this is the thing, guys. I want to tell you something. Yes, wear a mask. Yes, put a hand sanitizer, but it will not make any difference if you buy garbage at a grocery store, processed foods, you name it, and other things that I think that it can take so much out of your health. And instead of focusing on whole foods, healthy foods, and finding your best window of eating and good patterns of eating. Guys, thank you so much. I always say, I want to just tell you guys that if you want to be part of the Intermittent Fasting Challenge on my on Facebook, I do have it. And if you have the app, Life or Make app, I have a little group there. We're growing. We continue making a difference on the group. So if you want to be part of it, you're very welcome. So that'd be awesome to have you there. Once again, I just want to say thank you, and don't forget to subscribe and click on that button right there. And so yes, and same thing on my Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify. Don't forget to be able to subscribe there, and give me a hit. You can be able to follow me on Instagram, and be looking forward to. It's time for some coffee. Talk to you guys later. Bye bye.